Hello, hello everybody. Grabbing a sip of water. Grab you a cold or warm drink, whatever you like. Come in and join us. Welcome to our hormones and essential oils class. So excited that you guys are here, that you're taking time to learn about your hormones. My name is Erin Blankenship, and I am a gold leader with our Oily Generations team. Shout out to all of our Oily Generations friends on here. We are a group of men, women, families really looking to be intentional about what we bring into our homes. We are looking to clean up the toxins in our home, and if you are new here, we are so glad that you are joining us, and this is a great place to be. You're going to find great support, you're going to find great resources, you're going to find really great community to make sure that you are successful with this journey. So please say hello, tell us where you're from. I'd love to say hi if you're watching the replay. Type replay and tell us where you're from so we can say hello to you guys afterwards too. Again, my name is Erin Blankenship. A little bit about myself. My family and I have been oiling for over 4 years now. We started oiling out of desperation for a health issue that I was having. I was really looking to support a health issue in a natural way, and we found amazing support, and that was just the beginning for us. After that, we started looking at the other things that we were allowing into our home through our cleaners, through our skincare. Eventually, we started being really intentional about what we were going to put on our kiddos' skin, and it's changed our lives, you guys. We feel better, we sleep better, all the things. And so now we are really passionate about sharing that with others and helping other families learn how to do that too. So please say hello. I'm going to give you guys just one more minute to pop on. I know the notifications are a little slow, but tonight we're going to learn that hormones are a gift. Whenever I first started oiling, using essential oils for hormones was not even on my radar. It wasn't until after we had my daughter and I was about 8 months postpartum and things started feeling a little off that I reached out to our group and asked what they had, what kind of knowledge they could give me about hormone support. And that's when I started diving in and realizing that our cycles, as they fluctuated and ebbed and flowed, really were telling us important things about our bodies. So found great support postpartum for my daughter, and I started jumping in with my next pregnancy and doing a lot better that second time around. So if that's you, let us know what season you're in. Maybe you are premenopausal, maybe you're menopausal, maybe you are a teen, maybe you are someone hoping to have babies in the future. Whatever season you are in, this class is for you. If you are a man, this class is for you. It's awesome to have a little insight into what's going on into your significant other's body. And then later in the class, we're going to talk about some men hormone support too. So, okay, you guys, I know you guys are hopping on and you're ready to learn. Hey, Cassie. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Linda, Ashley. Let's hop right in. Okay, so you guys, I have my screen flipped so that hopefully, I've never done this before, but hopefully you guys can see everything appropriately. But we're going to hop right in, and I'm going to draw out a hormone chart for you. You can Google hormone charts. This is going to be a very basic version of that. So we're going to start, it's going to look a little bit like this. Just draw out our hormone chart. And we're going to start with day 1 right here. This is a 28-day cycle. So day 1, 28. Now 28 is average or normal. I know that there's no real average or normal, but you might be a 29-day cycle, a 30-day cycle, maybe it's 27 days, but this is just an average representation of a menstruating woman's 28-day cycle. So back here, day 28, day 1, and right here in the middle, we're gonna have day 14, okay? So day 1 is, we're gonna refer to this as winter. Now, if there are any men here, don't be alarmed. This is when your period starts, day 1. It's the first day of your period. That is the last time I will say the P word. We will talk about some other P words tonight. That's the last time I'll say that P word. So we're gonna refer from here on out to this season, this first day of your period, as winter. So this is winter. This middle season in between day 1 and day 14 is spring. And I just want to make a quick note. I see some questions coming through. I actually can't see that far, but please keep them coming and we'll make sure. I've got some friends on here tonight that are going to help answer some questions, and then I'll make sure and go back afterwards and answer everything that you have, but please keep those coming. So between here is spring. Day 14 is typically when ovulation happens, okay? So we're going to put an O right here, and that lasts about 2 to 3 days. So 2 to 3 days for ovulation. In here, in the after ovulation is what we call fall. And then again, winter comes back around, okay? So let's talk a little bit about our hormones as a whole. So a lot of you guys maybe, I know I did growing up, when I thought about hormones, it felt like a really like scary, bad thing, something that was not fun. But our hormones are really meant to be a symphony. And we're gonna use this, this play on words a little bit throughout the night. So hang in with me, bring it in, and we're going to talk about our hormones as a symphony. So that means we are not all one note throughout the entire month. We are a series of notes that hopefully put together make a really beautiful song throughout our cycle. And of course we have a conductor who is coordinating all of that in a really beautiful, beautiful way. So our cycle is a song, hormones are a symphony, okay? So tonight we are going to talk about, let me hop over here and turn off my heater so you can hear me. Hang on. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys, but there are lots of hormones in our body. Tonight we're going to talk about 2 specific hormones. A, because we're going to keep this short. B, because those are the ones that I really know about. So if there's something that you want to know about, if there are other hormones that you really need better support for, get online. There's so much information. Find a good reference. But tonight we're going to focus on 2 hormones. We're going to talk about estrogen. We're going to talk about progesterone. Okay, so I'm going to change markers here, and I'm going to use a purple marker, and this is going to come into play, this color, later when we talk about what you're going to use to support your body when it comes to essential oils. So estrogen is going to be purple, and I just want to draw this out on our hormone chart right here, okay? So here in the winter, everything is pretty low in the winter, right? So I don't know about you guys, but physical winter is a little bit harder for me. It's a little bit more somber, so I kind of relate in that sense. So estrogen starts out really low, and then as we go through spring and we get to ovulation, estrogen is going to climb, and it's going to peak when we get here at ovulation. Then it's going to plummet soon after, and then we get a little bit of a rise during fall, and then it's going to fall back off for winter, okay? So estrogen is our hormone that makes us feminine, you guys. Legitimately, this estrogen hormone is telling our bodies to like make more fat, to create those softer curves, to make us feel and look more feminine. Emotionally, estrogen helps give us new ideas, not necessarily the follow through of ideas, but the creation of ideas. So that's a really cool thing. It gives us kind of that flirty, attractive vibe. You can see it's really high here in the middle of ovulation. So when you're ovulating, you might feel a lot more flirtier, a lot more attractive. Your libido might be a little bit higher. Most likely it is a little bit higher. And that makes sense, right? This is when we're fertile. Menopause, women who are going through perimenopause, premenopause, any of that, this is really important. Estrogen is the hormone that creates more moisture in our mucous membranes, including the vagina, so that's really important. For women who are in that fertile season of life and maybe want to conceive later on, estrogen helps the lining of our uterus become ready for implantation, and then it also helps our ovaries ripen that egg. So estrogen peaks at about age 35, so if you're after age 35, most likely your estrogen levels have already started to decline, and that's something that you could use support for, okay? So that's just a really, really quick version of estrogen. And we're gonna talk about estrogen tonight as the little sister in our body, okay? So now let's bring in the big sister of our hormones, and we are gonna talk about progesterone. Progesterone is the big sister, and she's gonna be pink tonight. Progesterone is the one that kind of reins estrogen in, that kind of brings her in, tones her down. And this is the hormone of pregnancy, so progestation, okay? Let me draw this out for you. Again, we start low during winter, and so you're gonna stay pretty steady through ovulation. And then our progesterone levels start to peak here in the fall. Now, if you became pregnant here at this point right here, your progesterone levels are going to continue to go off the charts. But if not, if you were not pregnant, then your progesterone levels will here decline again, okay? So hormone of pregnancy, into the month, this is the hormone that helps sustain your pregnancy through that, through week 12, where then the placenta takes over and starts making it on its own. So it's a really neat thing. If you are not pregnant, progesterone in your body helps prepare your body for what is to come. Emotionally, you might feel a little bit more maternal or nurturing. Progesterone might help you, might make you feel like you want to stay home a little more or finish those projects that you started. So, where estrogen gives us all those great new ideas, progesterone comes in and is the hormone that helps us follow through with those ideas. Okay, so as progesterone is practical. We like the big sister progesterone right there. She's practical. Okay, so now I do want to point out, if we have some women on here who are in that pre-menopause phase, this is not what your chart is going to look like. On average, you're going to have very low levels of both of these throughout that entire 28-day period. So you're going to want to support both of these hormones for the entirety of the cycle in most cases, okay? That could be, and maybe you're like, I don't know if that's me. If you're having night sweats, hot flashes, a loss of libido over age 45, that could very well be your season, okay? Let me take a quick drink of water. Okay, so here's the beauty. We think about our hormones fighting against each other, right? But estrogen and progesterone are actually supposed to work together, and they do work together when our bodies are supported well. So they actually connect to each other in the cell. Our body has receptor sites, and so when estrogen goes in, when our body is done using estrogen, progesterone actually comes in and pulls estrogen out of the cell and cleans it up, okay? So they're not meant to fight each other, but actually work in tandem with one another. I do want to circle back around to talking about our hormones as a season, as a gift, as that symphony, and really help you guys to understand that there can be beauty in every single one of these seasons, okay? So in this winter season, we get the opportunity to rest. Our bodies are telling us to rest. This is a time for planning. So get those planners out, start writing down some of the things that you want to do. And spring is when new ideas pop up. We are more energetic and we are more excited to meet people. This is a really fun, creative season in our 28-day cycle, okay? And then when ovulation happens, and that's a really short window, but when the ovulation happens, hormones are at our highest, and you maybe feel, like I said, you're feeling flirty, you're feeling a lot more energetic. If you have a job where you are maybe meeting with clients or teaching classes or anything like that, schedule those during this window, okay? Because you're probably going to feel a little bit irresistible. You're probably going to close the sale. You're probably going to book the whatever you do is probably going to be a lot better during this time of year. And I do want to point out that this is an important reason to be tracking your cycle. So if you're not tracking your cycle, then you're going to have a lot harder time taking advantage of the gifts of these seasons, okay? So I want to encourage you guys to track your cycle, know where you're at in this 28-day window throughout the month. All right, so during fall, now fall is our action season. This is our time to finish up some of those projects, put into here, remember our progesterone is high. We can start following through with some of those great ideas that we came up with here in the spring. And then right before winter hits is something called Dragon Time, PMS, whatever you want to call it. We'll put a big DT right here. And that can feel daunting. But let me tell you guys, there is a gift in Dragon Time too. When your body is supported well, there is a gift in that. So this could be a trouble time for you. Maybe this is a really hard time in your household. Maybe your spouse leaves for a little bit to give you some space. Maybe there's a struggle. So there's gift in this, and the gift is clarity. During this Dragon Time season, things are going to be a lot clearer. You're going to have a lot more clarity, maybe able to see what is and what isn't. And this can be frustrating because it can make you frustrated with other people in your life. When you've got clarity, sometimes you're seeing things that are hard, right? But when you're supported well, you can take this opportunity to write some of those things down that you're feeling clarity about. And then when winter comes, when that planning season comes, you can you're better able to make some cool plans. So really cool, right? Who knew? So this is like Erin basic version of your hormones right here. Okay, so that is our hormone cycle. Now we're going to talk about the modern problem. This is why most of you are probably here tonight, is because we've all been introduced to this modern problem of lots of chemicals in our bodies, right? Okay, so we encounter something called xenoestrogens, and xenoestrogens are fake chemicals that act like estrogen in our body, and it really confuses things. It junks up our cells, and it makes our bodies really confused when it comes to what we are supposed to naturally put off estrogen, progesterone wise, all those other hormones that are happening, okay? So, xenoestrogens are found in in lots of things, but a couple of common things that you might come into contact with a lot. The first thing are plastics. So not all plastics, but specifically things like the rubber ducky, have that like rubber ducky smell that are squeezable and soft. Those are off-gassing. You can smell it. It smells like a rubber ducky. Those have plasticizers in them that off-gas xenoestrogens, okay? They get stuck into those receptor sites and dirty up our cells. So think of things like, man, if you are microwaving in plastic, that like plastic wrap over any of that, all of that is getting trapped into your food and then put into your body. Those are xenoestrogens, okay? The next thing is fragrance, and this is probably the biggest thing, you guys. You guys could step away from this class later and go into any room in your home, turn over a product, and I would bet that like 8 out of 10 of them have the ingredient fragrance in them. It is in so many of our products, but the issue with fragrance is it's not really regulated. So our products can say fragrance, and it can be like one of 1,000 different chemicals, and the companies don't have to tell us. So it's a really dangerous ingredient. Again, it acts as a xenoestrogen, clogs our cells. A big thing that there's lots of places you can start. So if somebody invited you here tonight, please get with them afterwards, and you guys can start working on a plan to slowly switch out your products. Our home did not become toxin-free overnight. We started with one product at a time. So get with that person, and they can help you start switching out those products that have the chemical fragrance in them. But tonight I want to talk to you guys briefly about one that is really impactful, and that's your laundry soap. Why laundry detergent? Because it stays on our clothes and touches most of our body for most of the day. So we know that our skin is our largest organ. So those xenoestrogens are being trapped in our clothing, and then they're sitting on our skin, getting into our bloodstream for a good chunk of the day. So this is a great place to start, is in your laundry room. Now, Thieves Laundry Soap is huge for staying clean hormonally. Does this have anything to do with hormones? Not at all, but it's free of all the junk, you guys, and that's the important part. Now, maybe you're saying, okay, Erin, I have something that says natural fragrance on it, so I should be okay. But if your laundry smells like anything when it comes out of the wash, then this is what's happening. So most likely they took an essential oil or something like that, something natural, and they stuck it to a fragrance binder, the xenoestrogen. And that binder is what makes your clothes smell. That's what makes the clothes smell fresh, smell like lavender, smell like whatever. And that's being fixed into your clothing, and then again, sitting on your skin, being absorbed into your body. So if your laundry smells like anything straight out of the wash, no good. I was a little disappointed when I got my Thieves cleaner, and I'll tell you guys why. If anybody's tried Thieves essential oil, we know it's an amazing blend, great for your immune system, but it's also great for cleaning. It smells like Christmas. And so I thought, man, my Thieves oil smells like Christmas. My cleaners makes my house smell like Christmas. I bet my laundry is going to smell like Christmas. But this doesn't contain any of those xenoestrogens to bind that Christmas smell to my clothing. So they come out clean, but they don't smell like much of anything. Now, I add essential oils to my dryer balls in the dryer cycle at the end to get those fresh smells that I'm looking for. But that's a great way to know if you have a good laundry soap or not, okay? One of the ways to know. So, okay, we're chugging right along. Loving all these questions I'm seeing coming through. Hey, everybody. So the next thing we want to talk about is support. What can we do? Okay. So when we get off this call, I'm going to talk you guys through several different essential oils and a couple of different supplements that you can choose from, no matter what season you're in. So we're going to talk about those extensively after I hop off of this live. But I do want to mention 2 of my favorites and 2 of the most popular hormone supporting oils that women in Young Living just rave about, you guys, and for good reason. So our first one we talked about was this estrogen. So we see this full of estrogen. When estrogen is low here in the winter, that's probably when you want things to be supported. Remember, we talked about if you're menopause, your estrogen levels are always low, so you're going to want to support all the time. So reference this chart for when you might need the different supports, okay? Does that make sense? All right, clary sage is our first. This has a very like middle note, like not too florally, not too woodsy. I really enjoy the smell of clary sage, but it contains natural phytoestrogens, okay? So this is gonna help to help your body start creating what it needs to create naturally, okay? That's what I can say about that. Go Google phytoestrogens, really good for you. But some of the other oils that we're gonna talk about all contain this oil, clary sage. So what's the difference? Why would you choose one or the other? Some of them have, so the other blends have other essential oils in them that are great for things that we'll talk about. You might enjoy one smell over the other. That might be one of your reasons to choose an oil or not. But if you need estrogen support, clary sage is a great one to pull to. Now let me put this warning out. If you are pregnant, clary sage is something that you want to leave off the shelf until you are in active labor, okay? Or after baby is born. This is not one that we use during pregnancy, okay? So when we're talking about supporting progesterone, our favorite is Progessence Plus. This is a serum, guys. It's a micronized progesterone form of wild yam. I'm going to say that again so that you can Google it. I can't talk a ton about that, but you can definitely look this up and see how good this is for your body, how safe it is for your body. Micronized progesterone from wild yam complex, okay? And it's also infused with essential oils, which means our bodies are going to be able to absorb more of the goodness. This also means like other progesterone, like synthetic progesterones, where you have to move application sites. You don't have to do that with this one, and it smells so good. Like I could use this as a perfume, easy, lovely. And I also feel like I get great sleep support with this one, so I use this one at night. Now, again, consult your chart. And one thing I do want to say about progesterone is if you have just had a baby. So we know that here, if you were pregnant, your progesterone levels soar. They stay really high all the way throughout pregnancy. And then once you have that baby, those progesterone levels just plummet, you guys, like to the ground. And that's why we experience a lot of those like baby blues, postpartum issues, all of that kind of thing. So this is a great one to reach for when you are postpartum and wanting to help regulate things, okay? So we're going to talk more about both of these oils. I'm going to hop off here, give you guys some great posts, and then I'm going to hop back on later, tell you guys how you can get the things that you need specific for your body, and I'll be back for questions, okay? So we'll see you soon. All right, hope this was great for you. I hope that you can walk away from tonight with more hope that your cycle can truly be a symphony, okay? See you guys in a bit.